I loved the script when I first read it, especially because Dallas had done a little intro at the very beginning of how to imagine it. So he would say Norman Rockwell and, classic. So as you're reading it, that's immediately what you imagined. What resonated for me most in the script that helped me with design choices was that it was a children's memory. So nothing had to make sense. The colors didn't have to make sense. Styles didn't have to make sense because children have wild imaginations. We just tried to choose classic styles, which are obviously to each his interpretation. So what's classic for you may not be classic for me. So that's the overall look. So the color palette on the Best Christmas Pageant Ever is quite fascinating, and Jean, the production designer, is the one that came up with it. And it's a lot of warm and then vibrant colors. But when we were picking costumes, we went to the rental houses to start with, and I literally just pulled by each color, went through all the decades and just pulled a rack of yellows, a rack of blues, a rack of reds in all variations of colors. So that's how that came about. And then each costume piece actually started with, or I should say the look of the film. Each character had one costume piece that started the whole thing. Like Grace was her mustard sweater. That started the whole look for her. Working with Dallas has been an absolute pleasure. He's funny, he's articulate, and he's very respectful. And he lets you do your job and he trusts you. And then he's so great with the kids, they adore him. Imogene was, it all started with her sweater. I found her sweater first, and then it kind of built from there of making her a little bit harder, but still a little bit soft at the same time, if that makes any sense. I think it really shows when you see the film. Beth's coat, that color, I had that color in my head from the very beginning, so trying to search out that fabric and then finding the cranberry coat color for Mom so that they would look great next to each other, and then having Bob in his tan overcoat for church. It was just the pretty color palette, right? But it's, yeah, her coat was the beginning of her whole character.